Welcome everybody. Good morning, and it's wonderful to be here with you today. Dominique and I are very pleased to have been invited to make this presentation for you, actually to share what we found, some really wonderful, wonderful things. And definitely, I hope that one word that we will hear, one expression we will hear the whole time is wow throughout this whole presentation. Because that's what we found with our colleagues over across the street have said wow, and their students have reacted in the same way. I teach English as a second language in our academic program at the college, and I'm also the technology program manager for our mentoring program, where we mentor faculty in technology, and I'm the e-associate for our New Technologies initiative, where we're digging into and finding out new technologies and how they can be used in teaching and learning. And Dr. Dominique Charlotteaux is a faculty member in education. She works with our bachelor's degree program in education, and she teaches educational technology classes at the college. So she's going to walk you through two wonderful tools that she uses with her students, and her students have used very successfully in creating content for their classes. So we know you'll be excited with those two tools. If you could please open up the presentation that I've sent to you, and if it hasn't come by any chance and the person next to you has a presentation open up, maybe you can just share, because who knows how long it takes the internet to slush things around. Sometimes it's quick and sometimes it's not so quick. What I'd like to do, though, is to use my presentation to walk you through some Web 2.0 resources that I know you're going to want to spend time with. If you're new to Web 2.0, this will take you, you could spend about a year going through all these resources. If you're not so new to Web 2.0, you're just going to love having a cup of coffee and with a bagel and going through these tools, because they're just phenomenal. There's so many of them. But fortunately, the resources I have for you give you a little bit of guidance on which ones to choose. I'd like to start first off, though, by showing you a video, and please do not turn there. You don't need to turn there at all, because it does involve sound, and of course if you turn there we're going to have 50 million pieces of sound running at the same time. But I would like to show you this video. It is by a young man by the name of Rick Marecki. You may have seen it on YouTube, but it embodies what Web 2.0 really is. I'd like to share that with you first, please. Enjoy the video? What do you notice about every single image in this video? You see the main actor, Rick, as he's involved in different activities. How is he becoming involved in those activities? Is he enjoying them? What do you see him doing? Anybody? He's doing them. And I think if you remember or think back on the video, you can see that he's absolutely engaged in every single thing he's doing. He's interacting. He's receiving approval. He's actually participating in all of the learning activities. And from the look on his face and the look on his teachers' faces, he seems to be having a wonderful time. What Web 2.0 does for our students is that it engages them in their learning. And that's why Web 2.0 is so powerful. because they're actually involved in doing things that they enjoy doing. And they begin to enjoy them even more. So the tools we're going to show you today are definitely tools of engagement that will get students working and concentrating and focusing on activities, because it's a different world out there from when we went to school, or many of us in the room went to school. And now things are a lot more hands-on. What I like about this video is also the simplicity. If you take a look at the notes here, it's three guys, 44 days, 11 countries, 18 flights, 38,000 miles, an exploding volcano, 2 cameras, and almost a terabyte of footage to turn 3 ambitious linear concepts based on movement, learning, and food. And there are 2 other videos there, so when you access this, you'll see the other 2 that they created too. One is on food and one is on move, different ways of moving. Again, very, very engaging, done in a very simple manner. So our point today is using tools on the web that cause students to say wow, and cause students to become involved, and also cause faculty members to feel as though they're connecting with their students more and more. So what I'd like to do now is to continue with the rest of the PowerPoint presentation, but you'll have to go to the first slide with me. This time you need to be where I am right now if you've already been able to access the presentation. We're going to find out today how millennial you are. So I first of all have a website that gauges your millenniality, if you will. So if you click there with me, this is the same resource. I just spelled out the address in case anybody hadn't gotten the PowerPoint presentation yet. But if you are there, I'd like you to take this quiz, please. So click on the millennial link and take the millennial quiz. It will not take a long time. I'm going to take it at the same time. And just answer the questions, and then we'll find out how millennial you are at the end. And by the way, this is also an excellent resource to use with students. As you see the questions themselves indicate a certain element of this millennium student. Yeah, I really like the tattoo question. I think that's an indicator maybe of a certain generation, perhaps. Who knows? Any surprises? Kind of a fun little tool. Ha! You may be more millennial than you think, or less millennial than you think. And mine can change depending on what I've been doing lately this week or today. But I found some of the questions really interesting. Have you read a newspaper today? You know, do you have a tattoo? That sounds pretty interesting to me. And you know, how much texting have you accessed? Do you have a landline and a cell phone? My son's 26, married. They don't have a landline. They can't see any reason for a landline in their home, so they don't have one. Interesting. I've always thought I needed to be connected somehow to the land, but they're not at all. So, but this is a wonderful, wonderful website. to use with your students. It kind of places you on a timeline and a generational timeline. And it also has data or resources having to do with this millennial quiz. It's a great place to explore the whole idea of being this millennium and the type of student that we're dealing with. A lot of research, a lot of statistics here. So if you ever need to back up a project or you just want to share this with your students, it really is a wonderful, wonderful website. So I just leave you with that thought of your millenniality as we begin the presentation. And go back. Were you surprised? Pleasantly? Surprised? Shocked? Maybe? Okay, a reaction too? Great. So I thought I would start with that first. Going on to the next slide, please. I'm going to just take you through these sites because they are wonderful, wonderful resources. The first one I'd like to take you is called WOW.mov. And WOW.mov is a great website that has a whole host of resources, probably more than you'd ever want to take a look at. But what's very nice about this website is that it's organized. Of course, these are just the applications with their logos, but you can also click on this link that will tell you what the application is and describe for you what its use is. And yeah, so you can also see at the top that there are stores, mobile games, and also other Web 2.0 tools. So you can actually take a look in here and find a tool maybe that you might want to use. And there is, of course, different resources attached to each tool so that you can explore maybe a tool in your area, your field, or for a particular activity. If you notice on the right, they're also classified, they're also, what can I say, organized according to different topic areas. So you can always, for example, just take one. You like collaboration tools? Great. If you click on collaboration, you'll find a whole host of tools that are just collaborative tools. And some of them are free, some of them are not. But the good thing is, you know, you can explore them. And if there's something new that might be more effective than one you're using, well, there you go. And all of the ancillary sites that go along with it are there. So this is also a very, very nice collection of Web 2.0 tools. And it keeps on growing. Every time I go, it seems there seem to be more and more tools all the time. So this is a resource, obviously, to take a look at when you have a little time. But it's a great, great, great collection. So hopefully you'll enjoy that. Another one that I'd like to show you is, if we go back to the PowerPoint presentation, is a very, 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 this is a wonderful, wonderful website. It's called Technology and Innovation in Education. So if we click on that link, oops, can't be found? Not today? Okay, that's strange. All right, I'll try to find out what's wrong with that. But actually, oh well. Things happen. This is actually a website that organizes the tools according to focus area, and it gives a complete description of the tool, what it's used for, what the tool is used for, and how it can be used, very specific uses. So it's a wonderful, wonderful website. I'll have to find out why it's not working. I think if I tie to .wikispaces.net, it seems to be okay. Yeah. Ooh, expired subscription. Whoops. Okay, let me see what I can do about that one. Huh? Because I didn't have to subscribe. It was just open. Maybe now they're requiring subscriptions. Yeah, that can happen. So that one I'll have to take out. But it was really a good website. If you could try the next one, I know this one hasn't expired. These are 100 Web 2.0 tools to enhance collaboration, and these are only collaborative tools. But Tech and Learning is one of my favorite sites. There's so much information on Tech and Learning. It's actually a blog. And of course, with wonderful information on technology resources to use in teaching. And I'm not seeing that list coming up. Where did it go? Funny how things work at home and then. Okay. Okay. Try to reload. Well, the good thing is that they do have everybody's emails, so if I need to make a change, if they've changed the location of the article, I can always find it and send it to you. I can modify the presentation, but these were working really well last night. So we're going to move on then, so we won't take any other time away from our time together. So let me go ahead and go back to the next slide. Okay. Okay, good. All right. The next slide here, and with those links I hope work. Okay. There we go, right here. Good. There are the 35 best Web 2.0 classroom tools, and these are based on a survey to the edudemic community, asking everybody to submit their 5 best Web 2.0 technology tools. So they've all been verified. And I hope they're also working. You know, today is just really weird. Okay. Well, that one worked. Okay. 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 Let's see if this one works. I'm not going to say anything works yet until it works. So, the 100 best Web 2.0 tools. Finally. Okay, good. Okay. These also were selected via a poll, and you might recognize some of them, such as Blogger and Skype and Poll Anywhere. Some of them are commonly used. Netflix, Wikispaces, but voice threads, some of them they're very, very dynamic tools, but here's a great, great list and how they're used and what they're for. So you have more than enough to keep you busy for a long time. There's Prezi, Delicious, some of them are kind of commonly known already. Flickr for photos. Google Maps, of course, and then YouTube. So Wolfram Alpha, also a search tool that's also a very, very dynamic tool. So here's a very complete list, well, 100 anyway, that are used in the classroom. So they're very, very exciting tools and fun to use. So that one's working for us today. Let's take a look at the next one that I have for you here. These are, this slideshow presentation is wonderful. Jane Hart is from the Center for Learning and Performance Technologies in England, and she has a wonderful presentation where she actually talks about the tools, describes the tools, what they're used for, and, oh, what? There must be something wrong with the, maybe firewalling or something in the building. Oh, wow, it is good. See, so I'm not lying to you, you know, so maybe, yeah. Sorry? Okay.
There you go.
Thank
He's
you.
trying, like, all the people accessing it at the same time.
Okay.
So he might not be able to get
Okay.
That might be what's going on.
Okay, because they were working, I promise, they were all working. Okay. When you have a moment, again, please access this presentation. It's very, very well done, to the point, easy. The links are right there. She makes comments about each tool. Very, very handy. So another excellent resource. If you're more an auditory visual person and you like to hear somebody talking about the tools, she does a great job doing that. Okay, so I highly recommend that. And this organization, the Center for Learning and Performance Technologies, you probably want to make note of that link because it's wonderful. Many, many, many wonderful resources there from the UK. Our colleagues in the UK are doing fantastic things, so it's good to tag on to whatever we can that they're doing. They're wonderful, and they're collaborative people, so they're great to work with. The next slide, hopefully, it should be working. I mean, the links. There are a lot of people that ask me about mind mapping and outlining tools, and these are some really, really good tools. Some of them are free, some of them are not. So here's just an example of one. If you would click on this one here, that just gives you, you can make a quick and dirty mind map right from here by just entering information in this part this part of this panel and then clicking convert to mind map, and it'll just take and convert whatever you've written in a list into a mind map. So it does create a hierarchy for you. So it can help to help a student go from from circles to outlining to formal outlining, you know, and reverse. So it's a great little handy tool, very, very quick to use. All you have to do again is just enter using the indentation for the hierarchy and convert to a mind map. Very, very nice. Okay, so very simple. No, you would have to edit the text here, I believe. You can change the colors, you can change the font, and you can change the lines on them. So there are things that you could edit. You would have to put it in here, correct? Which kind of helps see where it belongs in the outline and where it would go into the concept map itself. So it's a cute little, it's a cool little tool. Very, very simple. Very, very simple. So this is not, you know, no huge sophistication here at all. It's made to be really simple. Okay, great. The other tool that I just want to show you very quickly is the Mind for Two. This one here, also a nice tool to use. A little bit more elaborate than the other one. You do have to sign up, but then you can create these things such as this. You can put web links. If you look at the samples here, you can put web links, and actually the pages will pop up. So this is the free account is limited, but still it's enough to use. I mean, there are enough resources available, and you can share these mind maps also. So if you're interested in creating mind maps, Mind for Two is another good resource for you. Okay. The last one I wanted to show you on this part was MindMeister. This is a little bit more sophisticated, but it's also available on the, you can access from your iPhone or your iPad too. You can access all of your brainstorming here. Of course, you sign up for free. I don't want to spend the time doing that because we do have 2 hands-on activities for which we are going to sign up. But it has a little bit more capability of adding notes, adding documents to your mind map so that you can make a pretty elaborate one. And students can make them, of course, and they can plan projects that way. That works very successfully. So they can actually make document collections for each of the aspects that they branch out into. So it's really, really a very, very handy tool for that, especially for projects. Really, really used very well, very nicely. It applies very nicely to that. The next slide we'll go into very quickly. Top 10 sites for creating a chart or graph. So if you're into charts and graphs and you want students to use them, Charlotteaux number 3 is really, really, really an easy tool. You can create your own. I mean, here's some samples of how to get started, but when you create your own, you don't even have to sign in or anything. You can just start making a chart right from here. So the directions are, you know, very easy to do. You can decide what kind of chart you want, pie, line, business, dynamic, whatever, and it will go ahead and you put in the information that you want, and it will go ahead and create a chart for you. So this is a very fast and easy way to create a chart, and I thought you would appreciate that. Something that's easy is nice. Great. Then I believe I have a MindMeister example for you that I don't know if you know the book, familiar with the book Brain Rules, but this is an actual outline of the book using MindMeister to create an outline of every chapter. Notice it has graphics in there and nice, you know, anytime you click the plus, it expands, it branches to the other branches. So you can make these maps that are very, very elaborate if you like, and you can assign them to students to make for whatever you're doing in your course. So another handy example. There we go. The last one I want to show you very, very quickly is the Wordle. And you've probably already seen Wordle before, but I just have an example of my course syllabus that I created in Wordle, and I uploaded it to the website. So the website will keep it from me. I put every single word from my syllabus for one of my classes into a Wordle. And what I do is I ask students to note whichever words are the most common words are the biggest ones. So the largest ones. So what do they have? What are we doing mostly in this course? We're doing a lot of reviewing, I guess, and activities and reading and discussion. So those are kind of on the same level. And so anyway, this is a great way to introduce an idea or to have students create wordles representing something that they have done. So it's kind of a way of making whatever you've done a piece of art at the same time. But this is a very, very handy little tool, a collaborative tool that students enjoy using. Then at the end, the video is at the end of my presentation, so you do have the video. And that's about it for now. So I'm sorry to have to rush you through all the tools, but at the same time I'm not, because now you have a whole bunch of tools that you can explore and use. You have my email address. I sent you the email, so you can always email me for any help that you need, or if you find something that you'd like to share, I would definitely appreciate an email sharing that information. So now I'd like to pass the baton over to Dominique, who's going to show you two Web 2.0 tools that are pretty dynamic that you'll be excited to learn about. I'm going to close all these windows. Thank you.
Thank you. Dale, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay. Good morning once again. I am Dominique, Charlotteaux, Education Psychology faculty at Broward College on South Campus. And I'm also an e-learning associate, so I help faculty develop their online courses and am currently facilitating many D2L Desire to Learn workshops because we are about to transition from Blackboard to Desire to Learn. Is everyone ready to actually use some Web 2.0 tools? Wonderful, okay. So what we are going to do for the remainder of this session is to have hands-on activities on our computers using 2 or more Web 2.0 tools, time permitting. And the ones that I would like to share with you are, you can see on my slide, VOKI.com. VOKI is an online talking avatar tool. And we will discuss how we can use that tool in the classroom once we actually start creating our avatar. I'd like to share with you also ZOHONotebook, which is a virtual notebook. And then time permitting, I will share with you another mind mapping online tool, which is bubble.us. Okay, so I'm going to minimize this slide, and I'm going to ask you to please open up a browser, and I'm going to open up my, and log out of here. I'm going to open up my Internet Explorer browser, and in the address bar, please type VOKI.com. And this will take you to the VOKI website. And you actually do not need to register or create a free account right now. We can start working on our talking avatar by clicking on the Create tab. Okay, so let's go ahead and click on the Create tab. Let me make sure that everyone is with me. Okay, so I will stay here. Is everyone with me on this page? Okay. What you see in front of you is the Talking Avatar tool. And we are now ready to create an online talking avatar that we can customize in different ways. And then we can actually add a voice to it using different methods. And then finally, what we'll do is edit the background, and at some point, we will publish our work. Okay, so I'm going to ask you to please click on Choose Your Character under Customize Your Character. And as soon as you do that, different categories of characters will appear, and you can use the right arrow and click on it to find different categories of characters. And when you do find one, just go ahead and click on that character in order to select the person. And I'll just take the first one that comes, and I will wait for you to join me. Does everyone have a character? Okay. Next, what we are going to do is to edit our character and kind of format it. We can pick clothing for our character. We can actually add bling to our character. So I'm going to give you a couple seconds to explore with these tools. And once you're done, go ahead and click on Done. For some characters, the bling tab is not activated. It depends on the particular character that you choose. Okay, next, what we are going to do is to give a voice to our character. And what you can do is, and we're not going to use this method right now, but you could actually use the phone tool, and you could record a message using your phone, a hard line, or a cell phone, a smartphone. You could also, if you had a microphone, record a message using a microphone. And you could add a WAV file or an MP3 or another audio file. What we are going to do right now is to convert text to speech. So let's go ahead and click on the text to speech button. And then a window will open up and we can type some text. For example, welcome to EME 2040, Intro to Educational Technology. You can also pick your language, and there's a long list of languages and accents, which can validate students' experiences if they are non-native English speakers. I personally love that, being from France. And then you can also pick your voice. If you click on the little drop-down arrow, you can select a female or male voice from different countries. I'm just going to leave it as Kate US and then hit Done. Now, the other thing that you can do is to tweak your character using the toolbox underneath your player controls. See where you have tweak and color? You can actually make the mouth larger by dragging the little scroll bar. You can make the nose bigger, likewise, etc. And you can change the height, and you can change the width. You can also change your color scheme. Then, what you can do is apply a background. So go ahead and click on Backgrounds, and then scroll through the different categories of backgrounds and find one that you like. I'm just going to grab the first one and hit Done. Is everyone with me? Yes? Okay. Last, what we can do is to hit, well, what we could do before we actually publish our character is actually listen to our character by hitting
Welcome to EME 2040,
the play
Intro
button.
to EdTech.
So now we know that our character talks. So what we are going to do is to hit Publish, and we are going to give a name to our avatar. And save our work. And this is where you will be prompted to create a free VOKI account. Since I have a VOKI account, I'm just going to log in. And it is necessary to create a VOKI account to save your work and edit your work and also copy your embedding code. Okay, so I'm going to log in. While you are creating your free account. As soon as you log in, your avatar will be added to your gallery of avatars, and unless you created an account previously, you should only have one. And what you can see is under your avatar, you can actually publish your VOKI. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Publish. And then I can select the size of my player. I'm just going to leave it as a medium player for now. You can actually post it on different sites. But what I'm going to do, and what I typically do, is that I copy the code for this avatar and embed it into my online courses, for example, in Blackboard and soon to be in Desire to Learn. Or you could also copy the code and paste it into your web page. Okay, so this is where you would actually copy the code and then go to your destination website and paste the code. Okay, so how would you use VOKI.com? I would be interested in hearing from you from different disciplines. Let me briefly tell you how I use my talking avatars. I use them in my online orientations in Blackboard at the beginning of the semester because I find that it's a very interactive a tool for students to introduce themselves and interact with each other. Also, I use it sometimes in my diversity course for discussing sensitive, controversial issues that many students might not be comfortable discussing. Certainly, I use it in my technology courses because I think students, future teachers, need to be exposed to Web 2.0 tools. But I've heard from colleagues also that they use this tool in foreign languages for pronouncing words, in ESOL classes also for the very same purposes, and also in speech classes for practicing speeches. Just for a couple seconds, let's hear from a few of you. How might you use this tool in your particular disciplines? Anyone? Yes.
We use WOKAnimate at our college, which is exactly
Yes.
the same thing.
Right.
And so that's exactly what I did on my first page of Blackboard. I did a WOKAnimate. The only thing is you have to pay for that. And we have the minimal thing, so you can't do all these fancy things, you can do basic. But the only thing is I don't see here, unless it comes up, that I was able to actually type on plackets so that not only is my avatar talking, but I also wrote things on. Can you do that on this?
Not currently, no. This is just a talking avatar. And this tool is free, and it allows you to also do basic, very basics.
So can your students then, you said you use it as your introduction, do you tell your students then to go to this and make up their own little avatar and then introduce themselves using this?
Yes,
Kind of cool.
yes,
I like
that's what they do. Any other possible usages in your disciplines? Okay, so we will move on to the next tool. I'm going to log out. And the next tool is ZOHONotebook. So in your address bar, go ahead and type ZOHO, Z-O-H-O, notebook.
Dominique, do you want to mention to them that you'll be sending them the instructions
Yes, I will be sending you all of the step-by-step directions that I had created in the past with screen captures and so forth. And it really goes through extensively everything that you can do with the particular tools and how to use them. Okay, so go ahead and click on Zoho Notebook. And then here you are going to have to create your free account before we can do anything. While you are doing that, I'm going to sign in.
Do you use your school address or do you use a separate address you pay for this level too? Whatever you want.
Whatever you want.
Like for a work experience, you use your official address for this type of tool because you're using it for classroom?
Well, I actually use my faculty email address to create the account. That's how I do it. Okay,
Make
and
sure that you received the handout before you leave today. If you did not give me your email address at the beginning of the presentation, please make sure you come up to the podium and give me your email address so that we can send this information to you. Thank you.
okay, and I will wait a couple seconds to make sure that everyone has an account. Zoho Notebook is a virtual notebook. And so it is really a nice tool for promoting cooperative learning in the classroom. So in education classes and psychology courses, we do a lot of collaboration, and students work together on different multimedia projects using this tool. This tool allows students to create a notebook, to add text, audio, video, hyperlinks, spreadsheets, etc., etc. Does everyone have a free account? Okay? So what I'm going to do is walk you through the steps of creating a new virtual notebook. And the first thing you are going to do on the left-hand side of your screen at the top is to click on New Book. Then you will see a tab appear. And you want to click on the drop-down arrow and rename your notebook. So for example, I'm going to call it FAU Virtual Notebook. And I'm going to hit rename. And as soon as I do that, you will see the name of my book appear on the tab. And we are ready now to start adding pages to our notebook. As you can see, on the right-hand side of your screen, at the top, there's a page 1. What I'm going to do is to add a text page from the left-hand side menu. So I'm going to click on Add Text Page. And then I can actually type a title for my notebook. And I can, of course, format my title and do different things with it, but for the sake of time, I'm going to move on to the next task, which is to add a blank page, and that will be page number 3, with an image. So at the top, you can select different types of pages, but then you can add some content. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Add Image. And then you will have on your screen the Add Image dialog box. And you can actually get an image from a URL, upload, or from your collection. I'm just going to pick an image that I have already here and hit Insert. And so my little koala bear is in my notebook. Ideally, of course, I would have resized the koala bear in Photoshop or Snagit some other photo editing software before uploading it. And then what I'm going to do is to add another blank page. And this time my content is going to be video. So I'm going to click on Add Video. And as you can see, it's telling me, paste your embedded code. So what I'm going to do is open up a new browser. And I'm going to go very quickly to youtube.com. And I'm just going to grab the very first videos, and hopefully it is politically correct. I haven't checked. But what we are going to do is just click on Share and then Embed so that we can copy this code by right-clicking and hitting Copy. Then I'm going to go back to my virtual notebook and just right-click and paste my embedded code and hit Insert. So I'm going to give you a minute to do this, or less than a minute, actually a few seconds to do this. If you wanted to, you could go back to your VOKI, copy your code, and then embed it here. Okay, the last thing we are going to do is to add a web page. So the very top, under the different categories of pages, let's go ahead and click on Add Web Page. And let's enter a URL, for example, http:// I have my caps on, let me change that. And I'm just going to type www.broward.edu and hit Create. And as soon as I do that, only secure content is displayed. So we'll show the secure content. Okay, so let me do this again. The URL is and I know it works. It should be working for you, is it not? Okay, there's something going on, but that's okay. We'll move on to the next. If you wanted to later on rename your book, what you could do is click on the little drop-down arrow next to the book tab and then select Rename. But from here, you could also publish, share, delete, etc. If you wanted to rename one of the pages, you would just go to the page on the right-hand side of your screen, click on it, and then you should have the option, I just saw the little drop-down arrows, to click on the drop-down arrow and edit your page. For now, what we are going to do is to log out. Oh, and by the way, before I log out, you can actually integrate Skype with this tool, which is a wonderful tool for students to communicate or synchronously as they are working on their collaborative projects. And from the menu bar at the top under Preferences, you can actually change the skin color of your virtual notebook. And I believe the colors available to you are blue, green, and there might be pink, not sure, or brown, okay? For now, we are going to sign out, and the very last tool that I'm going to share with you is bubble.us. And that's spelled BUBBL.us. And this is a mind mapping tool, a concept mapping tool. It allows you to create graphic organizers, and it helps students visualize information so they can better retain the information. I'm going to click on Allow. You do not need to create a free account right now. What you can do is just click on Start Brainstorming. So go ahead and do that. And then click on the parent bubble. The first bubble you see is called a parent bubble. And type, for example, uses of mind maps. And then you can start to quickly build your mind map by pressing Control-Enter. Then you will have a child bubble. And then you can add another one and keep on going this way. And then, of course, you would type your text. You can use mind maps to brainstorm or to create outlines or to problem solve, for example. And then what you can do is click out of your graphic organizer and kind of position your mouse on top of the bubble, and you will see a toolbar appearing, which allows you to change the color of your text very quickly. So I'm going to pick red, and then I can actually increase the size of my text. If I want to change the colors of my child bubbles, I can do it the same way. I can click on the bubble and drag it into position. And I can also add text to my connection links. For example, classroom uses. If I want to delete a bubble, I would just hover my pointer on top of it and hit delete. If I wanted to create a sibling bubble from the side, I would just hit the tab key and type my text. And if I wanted to connect that particular bubble to another one, I could just click the connect button and drag it to one of my bubbles. Once you're happy with your graphic organizer, what you can do is, of course, save it. You can print it to use it as handouts in your classes, or you can export your work as a JPEG or PNG file and share it with your students. You can also save it as HTML and post it on your web page or Blackboard or Desire to Learn. How might you use this tool in your classroom? Yes?
To organize a discussion, for example, you could ask the students for connections or ideas, and then connect everything and be able to show them a visual representation of it.
Okay. Any other usages? Okay. Well, I would be happy to share my PowerPoint, but also the step-by-step directions with you. So I will actually get Mary's email in order to retrieve your email addresses, and then I will send you my presentation and directions. Thank you.